Okay, so now in this video we are going to talk about emitter. To bring that emitter, it's very easy. Or even if you want to bring any object in Cinema 4D, so what you can do, you can simply press Shift C on your keyboard. So it will give you this command, and you can type whatever you want. Like you can add cloner, let's say, and you can choose this cloner, and it will be over here like that. So I'll press Shift C again, and I'll type emitter. This is my emitter. So emitter looks like this, and if you hit play over here, as you guys can see, these are basically emitting this kind of white lines, but they are only visible in this perspective. I mean this what we call editor. If I hit Control R, as you guys can see, we cannot see anything because we haven't tell that emitter to emit any object. So basically emitter, what does it, will emit object which we are going to parent with this emitter. So for example, let's say create this cube, and size of this cube I'm going to 10 by 10, and I'll select this cube and I'll bring inside this emitter. And now if I hit play, obviously we are getting strange results, but if I hit Control R to render, I'll get this kind of result. So basically this is emitting this cube, but I want to I want that visibility like render over in my view also. So what I can do, I can simply select this emitter, I can go to the particle options, and over here you will get this option known as show object. So simply click on it, then it will show you this thing over here only. Okay, so now we will look at some basic settings in provided by this emitter. Let's look at the emitter first. Obviously you will get the size, horizontal angle, vertical angle, etc, etc, like that. Over according to me, I think these two only options are very useful. You can adjust the size of this emitter like this and like this. Okay, so right now let's choose 100 by 100. Even if you want, you can make it 0 also, like this. Still it's going to emit that particle. Okay, so let's make this 100 by 100 for now, for our understanding. Then after that you will get this option known as birth editor and birth renderer. Right now both the values are 10, but if I make this 100 by 100, and then if I try to emit, as you guys can see, it's emitting more and more particles. So depends upon this value, it will create number of particles is depends on this value. Okay, then you will get this option known as start emission and stop emission over here, like this. Right now it's 0, which means it will start to emit object from 0. Suppose if I choose 20 over here, so now it will try to emit object after the 20 frames, and I want to stop this emission from 50 frames. So now what will happen, it will start to 20 frames and it will end the emission at 50 frames, like this. And right now as you guys can see, we have one kind of pattern over here, but I don't want this kind of pattern. Then I can change the seed value over here, and now it will emit particles in different pattern. Okay, like that. This is not a very useful value, at least according to me. Now over here it's lifetime, which means lifetime of particle from the end which it's produced. For example, one particle is suppose we have this is going to emit one particle at 0 frames, and if your lifetime is 10 frames, let's say, then that particle will end its life at 10 frames, 100 frames. For example, let's choose lifetime 50 over here, and start emission from, let's say, 0, and stop emission from 10. Okay, so now if I select this particle, as you guys can see, these particles are emitting, and after 100 frames they are going to disappear. Like, I mean, after 50 frames they are going to disappear. So that's the use of lifetime. And let's make this 600. Okay, then there is option known as speed. Obviously from name itself you can adjust the speed of your particle emission, like this. Okay, so that's the basic settings of emitter, like this. Now what is the use of this? You can create so many type of motion graphics with the help of this. For example, let's create one pattern, because we are using this. Let's create a simple pattern. Suppose if I choose size 10 and size y10, and if I start to emit, I'll get this kind of emissions, let's say. And I'll go to the particles, and stop emission I'm going to make it 180, let's say. And then I'll go to the coordinates, I'll create one keyframe at 0, and at 180 I'm going to type 360 into 10, hit OK, and create one keyframe. Right click, animation, show F curve, hit Ctrl A and make it linear. So now if you hit play, as you guys can see, we will get this kind of emissions. So if you see properly, this is creating this pattern in Cinema 4D. Okay, so this is just a simple use of this. There are so many use of this emitter, but that's the very basic one. We will see that when we are going to move to our motion graphics work. Even if you select this and let's say if you want to move this towards X, so I'll create one keyframe over here at X. At this point I'll move this from here to here. Let's create one keyframe, and now if I hit play, as you guys can see, I'll get this kind of animation inside of Cinema 4D. And even if you want, then you can make this birth rate 1000 by 1000. So now if you hit play, it will create more and more objects like this. Okay, so that's the use of emitter. We will see more options related to this in next video.